Morning everybody, Sam here, United People's TV live as always with MUFC Daily. Sorry, I'm a little bit late today. Very complicated thumbnail we had to make because it's the Champions League, well not the draw, but we're looking at who Manchester United can get in the round of 16 now that the Champions League group stages have finished. Man United topped their group, so did Liverpool, so did Tottenham Hotspur, so did, I can't remember the other English teams in it, Liverpool. They did well. 7-0 last night, but let's not talk about them. Let's talk about Manchester United and our potential opponents. Let me know in the comments, where are you watching from? As always, I can see Zongazelli down there as a new moderator. Thank you all. I want to quickly say this now. I asked yesterday about if anybody would like to become a comment moderator on United People's TV, and I was absolutely overwhelmed by how many of you responded, both from YouTube and from Facebook. It's amazing. It's a great community that we're building here. Thank you all for getting involved every single day with MUFC Daily. A lot of love. But let's run through the potential opponents. As you can see from the little thing at the bottom there, we can draw Bayern Munich, Juventus, Sevilla, Shakhtar, Porto and Real Madrid. Who's your dream draw? Who's your nightmare draw? Let me know in the comments. I just wanted to give you a little bit more information on these potential opponents. So, Man United could draw Sevilla, and we actually haven't faced Sevilla ever in the Champions League round of 16. So Sevilla, 5-time Europa League winners, they won it. They beat Liverpool in the final a couple of years ago, the year before we won it, after Liverpool knocked us out of the Europa League. Let's not talk about that. But Sevilla, for me, it's the ideal draw out of this. Selfishly, because I want to go to Sevilla in February. It's Spain, it's February, it'll be nice and sunny. I want a piece of that. Or Porto. I think those are probably on paper the best two draws for Manchester United. Shakhtar Donetsk, they ended Manchester City's run, but more than that, they're in Ukraine. It's a very, very hard game for Manchester United to play away in the Champions League against the Ukrainian team. I don't really want to see that, to be honest, but maybe you disagree. Let me know in the comments. Let's run through the next opponent. As I said, Shakhtar Donetsk. We did play them twice in the 2013 group stage. We won at Old Trafford 1-0, and I think we drew away against Donetsk. But we could play Porto. Now, this could be a very, very interesting one. We played them 4 times in the knockout stage of the European competition. Dave Sexton's United were overcome 6-5 in aggregate in a thrilling 1977 European Cup Winners' Cup tie. This is all the information I'm getting from Manchester Evening News, so shout out to Manchester Evening News for publishing this article. And then we had Fergie 20 years later in 1997, 4-0 winners against Porto in the Champions League quarter-final. But let's remember that game against Jose Mourinho's Porto. The knee slide, the offside goal, the goal that was wrongly disallowed. That was a low point in Manchester United in the Champions League as far as I'm concerned. Maybe not the low point, but let's see what goes on there. For me, I think Manchester United are almost guaranteed to go through if we play Porto. And the reason I say that is because there is absolutely no way Jose Mourinho is going to lose to Porto. That's my own opinion. You may disagree to that, but there's no way that Jose... personally, that's what I think. There's no chance in hell that Jose Mourinho is going to lose to Porto. I might be wrong in saying that, but I don't think I am. Obviously, we can draw Real Madrid again. Last time we played Real Madrid, 2012-13, Fergie's last year as United manager. We all know exactly what happened at Old Trafford. Nani the red card, Welbeck's goal away at the Bernabeu, 1-1 coming back, Ronaldo scored at the Bernabeu, then Sergio Ramos own goal, 2-1 to United, we're 1-0 up, we're in control of the game. Nani gets sent off ridiculously. It wasn't a red card for concentrating on the ball. Did connect with the player in the chest, I think, with his foot, but it wasn't a red card. Changed the game. Mourinho brought on Luka Modric. He made the difference. He scored, then Ronaldo scored. We got knocked out in Fergie's last year as United manager. A bad, bad memory. But Madrid, that could be... They're not as good this year as they have been in the past couple of years, but it's still Real Madrid. And of course, let's talk about Bayern Munich, because we can mention 1999. Bayern Munich, the team we beat to finalise that treble in the new camp, Solskjaer and Sheringham, United's greatest ever night in European football. I'd probably argue United's greatest ever night. We could play Bayern Munich. That will be a tough draw. Just like Juventus will be a tough draw as well. But just like Bayern Munich gave us one of our best ever nights in European football. Juventus did as well in the semi-final. Roy Keane, arguably his best ever performance in a United shirt. We're 2-0 down away to Juventus in Turin. Roy Keane pops up with a goal. I think York gets the equaliser and Cole gets the winner. Either way, we came from behind and we beat them. We got through to the final. It really was that year where everything seemed against United, but we came through regardless. Juventus would be a very, very tough draw. And as I said, Shakhtar Donetsk would be tough. Now, overall, United have played Real Madrid 11 times, won 2 and lost 5. United have also encountered Bayern Munich on 11 occasions, beat them twice, and we've lost 4 times. Juventus, we've won 5, lost 5 and drawn 2. And last time we played Juventus in the group stage, we won 3-0 at the Stadio delle Alpi. That'll be interesting. But let me read through the comments now and see what your ideal and your dream draws and your nightmare draws are. Zongazelli saying Porto, Sevilla and Shakhtar in that order. Bayern Munich has always given us a headache and we can still beat Juventus, but Madrid can wait. We've got Mohamed Musa saying a bad draw will be Real Madrid or Juventus. We've got Mohamed also saying Porto or Sevilla. Any club we play at home, we are ferocious, says true United fan. United right now undefeated in the league, but we've got Man City next. They lost their unbeaten run away to Shakhtar Donetsk, going to show just how tough Shakhtar Donetsk are. And lots of you are asking, when is the actual draw? Now, the draw for the Champions League round of 16 is on Monday. And if we can, I'm going to try and do a live stream here on United People's TV to run through the draw with you. So maybe you can join me for that. Starts at 11 a.m. British Standard Time. So if you're watching from around the world, make sure you tune in at that time. Mark O with a bit of a concerning comment saying we will stretch ourselves thin competing in both competitions. Let's go to see what happens with our squad, mate. Our squad does have strength in depth in certain areas, and not in other. So let's see what happens. But I trust in Jose Mourinho's ability to rotate. Rotation wasn't something he always did under Chelsea, but I think he's done it a little bit more at United, a little bit better at United, and I hope that we do rotate, because if we get through, so Champions League knockout start in February, it's going to be a tough time for United, but we're United, we're built and we're used to dealing with these tough times, and we want 2 games a week. It's exactly what United want of a club of our stature, but it's definitely going to be tough, and there are definitely some tough games here. I mean, weirdly, it's like normally when you win your Champions League group, you get an easier draw in the Champions League. That is definitely not the case this year. As I said, Bayern, Juve and Real Madrid, proper European super clubs. So for United to be able to draw one of those 3 in the round of 16 goes to show how well the English teams have done, because 4 out of 5 English teams won their groups in the Champions League this year. Got Sohan Banerjee saying, I want United to face Real Madrid, because knocking them out would be ideal revenge. It would be, talking about 2012-13, I don't want to draw Real Madrid in the round of 16, to be honest. As I said, I want to draw Porto or Sevilla. The more I think about it, the more Porto would be the better draw for United, but I would love to go to Sevilla. So I want it to be Sevilla. That's my own selfish little perspective on it. Alexander Abanobi saying we are definitely getting Shakhtar Donetsk. Let's see what goes on there. Marco saying Griezmann in January. Potential there. Atletico Madrid not getting through to the Champions League knockout rounds. I don't know whether that means Griezmann would be cup tied. I think he is cup tied because he played in the group stages, but I don't know how it works. But I think he is cup tied. But maybe Griezmann in January. It's not going to happen though. But maybe. Timothy saying top clubs are easier to beat. Sevilla and Porto. We should not meet them. That's an interesting perspective. I would disagree, because the top clubs are top clubs. Big games. And you want the big games in the Champions League. It doesn't matter at what point we're going to play these big teams. We will play the likes of Bayern Munich, Juve and Real Madrid if we get far enough in the competition. But for me, Porto or Sevilla is the ideal draw. The nightmare draw, torn between Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. Who do you think? Bayern Munich or Real Madrid? Who is the harder draw? Thank you all for joining in today in MUFC Daily. It's interesting to talk about Manchester United's potential Champions League opponents. Thank you for joining in on YouTube, and shout out to everybody over on Facebook too. If you're new on YouTube, hit that subscribe button down below. We'll be here tomorrow. We're here later on today as well, doing the preview and the start 11 prediction for the Man City game. Woo, it's a big one. Big games coming up for United. Take it easy.